What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Crypto Beard. My name is Devin, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the history of crypto and why I believe that by the year 2030, the crypto sphere is going to be worth over $100 trillion. Now, if that sounds crazy, hang with me because history may help you understand why I believe that to be true. So let's hop right now into our time machine and go back to the year 2009. And if you're unfamiliar what happened in the year 2009, no, it's not the year that Bitcoin was created. That was the year before that. But in 2009, in January, I think it was like January 3rd, the Bitcoin network went live. And so what does that mean? That means in January 2009 was the first time that people actually started using cryptocurrency. Now, if you're unfamiliar with kind of the history of it, this is awesome because I'm going to get a chance to kind of break it down for you. So the whole purpose behind really creating Bitcoin was not to change the world. It was not to create this $100 million, asset. That wasn't the thought. But the thought was, you know what? Sending money abroad for goods and services is really a pain in the butt. I mean, have you ever done Western Union? It's not easy. It's a pain. And just transacting internationally, there's literally nothing easy about it. But by 2009, we have the internet, we have Facebook, we have all these cool things. There's got to be a better way to transact, hence Bitcoin. And so a small group of friends start using Bitcoin, and I believe the first pizza was ordered. Maybe it was I think it was 2000. Was it March of 2009? I don't know. It was not too long after the network was launched, and I think the guy traded a pizza for like 2,000 Bitcoin or something stupid like that. In fact, it may have been like 20,000 Bitcoin, which is one expensive pizza in modern pricing. But at the time, Bitcoin wasn't even worth $1. In fact, it wasn't even until 2011 that Bitcoin actually began growing in value significantly and reached $1 for the first time. But the thing that happened with blockchain and with Bitcoin was it provided people the ability to transact online in a way that was different. It was a way that was untraceable, but also it was simpler than what the legacy finance system offers. Even to this day, it's easier. Now, with that said, that doesn't mean there's not hurdles to jump through, not things that you have to know. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that it solved a lot of problems. And that's the thing behind revolutionary technology, is it solves problems. Sometimes there are problems that you may not think about, that you may not think are a big deal. And so sometimes it takes a while to catch on. But usually it takes a while for modern technologies to catch on. But Bitcoin has had one of the fastest adoption rates of modern technology. And so when we look at it, now I say that compared to OpenAI, no, it hasn't quite adopted, hasn't had that level of adoption, which is crazy, which should tell you what to look at for the future. And we're going to get on how that will ultimately affect blockchain, because there is a role for that and what my case is. So when we look at what happened with Bitcoin and this creation, this ability to digitally transact and have this open, clear ledger system where everybody knows kind of what the rules are. They know what the rules are for the currency and at which rate it's going to grow, where it's going to stop, how it's not going to grow past a certain point. And all of this, all of these definitive rules help us establish a value. And we see that normal currencies, fiat currencies, don't kind of follow these rules. And the reason is because, we're human and we like to manipulate things to work into our favor. And so that's why most fiat currencies, they don't apply the same type of thinking. So as one would presume, given these set of rules, Bitcoin begins to grow in value as its user base grows. And what happens, not only does it begin to grow in value, but people begin to see, man, blockchain affords us a lot of cool things. What if we could do other things with it? And then you have Ethereum come out, and smart contracts, and Cardano, and all these other little side projects, as I would call them. But I mean, that's kind of what they are. All these offshoots of new blockchain technology that take some of the things that Bitcoin employed, some of the principles, and then use them to create something new and different. And so then we get all of these new and revolutionary technologies, and people being able to do different things with them, like smart contracts, like NFTs, and all these other things. And so the market and the user base begins to grow because they see a use case. And then comes along gaming, which is very recent, as of the last few years. And so then we begin to see that use case elevate even more. And what happens is, each time we have a breakthrough in technology, each time we have a technological shift, we bring on users. And so the value begins to grow and grow and grow. And if you look at Bitcoin over the course of its history, its value is just skyrocketed. But not only Bitcoin's value, but the value of the cryptosphere as a whole has gone through the roof. Now, when I say through the roof, we're still at the bottom level of this thing, because still the user base, in comparison to the world and the grander scheme of things, is quite small. But what happens when people start to adopt it? What happens when we get really innovative mobile technology that goes along with blockchain that makes our lives much easier? Well, what happens is we see adoption go up, and as we see adoption go up, we see more users come on. And if, right now, if we only had a million users, that's not a huge number. If there's, let's say there's 30 million users, that sounds like a huge number. It's actually not in the grand scheme of things. Let's say we went from 30 million to 1 billion users. That would be huge. That would be very, very big. And I believe that is what is going to happen over the next 8 years. And as we saw Bitcoin basically go from nothing to being at its highest worth, close to $70,000 a coin, we see that the value has been realized by people. But what's keeping us back right now is two things, okay? The first is usability, because you have to have good mobile applications in order for there to be a huge, wide adoption of people that are going to be using blockchain technology. Why? Because that's where all the users are. They're all on mobile, just like me filming this video right now. We're all on mobile. So there's so many users, and that's not going to go down, guys. There's just going to be more and more mobile-based usage. And so the many blockchain apps are specifically designed with desktop in mind. And while that's great, that's not where your big-time user base is going to be. So we're going to see more and more people develop things that are specifically geared to mobile users. And as we see those revolutionary technologies and easy-to-use tech, what we're going to see is more and more adoption. And as we see more adoption, we're going to see the value go up and up and up. And if you think $100 trillion is huge, you need to look at some of the other markets. You need to look at some of the other financial industries, because as big as it sounds, it's a drop in not a drop in the bucket. $100 trillion is a lot, but when people, this is what cracks me up. You had Warren Buffett earlier this year say that Bitcoin was going to go to zero. The market right now itself has grown. It's worth over $1 trillion. That's how big the crypto market is. And so when you say it's going to go to zero, you're saying that this market is going to die. It's not going to die, guys. It's not, this is the problem. Is so many people, it's kind of like the internet. I remember there was a time when people say, well, nobody's ever going to use that. Well, it's just they haven't realized how useful it is and how the problems that the internet solved. And so they didn't realize, why they needed email and all these things like that and how it would make their life simpler. And as more and more people became aware and it became more and more widely used, the value grew and grew and grew and grew. And so that's where we are, guys. That's the things that blockchain affords people is ease of transactability, and that is not to go understated, because as we see gaming and all these things, continue to grow. I know you say, well, right now it's a terrible economy. Yeah, but you know what? It's an awesome opportunity for development, and it's also an awesome opportunity to get in while things are priced well. So that's my thoughts. That's why I believe by the year 2030, this industry will be worth over $100 trillion. Now, you can tell me what you think down in the comments. Let me know if you think I'm right or wrong. Love to hear from it. Love producing this content for you guys. But until next time, we'll see ya. Peace.